for me, this is what's the difference between a good and a great photographer. It will not be really like because the guy is only doing fantastic pictures, If he's doing this, but he's not real good in human relationships, or he's actually not improvising well and stuff like this, well, for me, he wouldn't be a great photographer, even if he's doing the best pictures.
Hello and welcome to Art in the Paddock, conversations with Formula One photographers. My guest today is Florent Gooden. He is the team lead in F1 for one of the top motorsports photography agencies. Besides Formula One, he also covers the Dakar Rally and the World Endurance Championship. In this conversation, we talk about what it really takes to deliver images in Formula One, from shooting thousands of photos under pressure to making split-second decisions, to balancing creative work with the reality of sponsors, deadlines, and expectations. If you enjoyed these conversations, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as this is really going to help me grow this channel. Let's get into it with Florent Gooden. Hey, Florent, bonjour. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm good on you, Art.
I'm doing well as well. So you're coming back from Wake at Imola, right?
Yes, I spent a whole week there doing the prologue and then covering the whole race weekend. So it's been quite a busy week, but very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I saw your photos. Amazing place at Imola. I love that track. And yeah, it's a shame that we don't have it in Formula One this year.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore. It's a bit of a shame. It's a great track, both for racing and shooting, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Florent, I want to ask you a little bit about, I don't intend to spend a lot of time in talking about your previous experience or how you got where you are now. I want to focus more into the current situation, your current responsibilities. Okay. So you have now, almost 200 Grand Prix, right, under your belt, Formula One?
Yes, almost. I think it's around 170, something like this.
Okay.
It's been a lot lately, less at the beginning. I was only doing a few in the beginning. Now almost all seasons. So for sure now it grows fast with 24 races per year.
How many seasons have you been doing full seasons, like the whole all the races in the calendar?
Almost full season. It's been since 2019, 2020, but I've never done a whole full season. I've only missed maybe 2 or 3 per season, sometimes 4 or 5, because I'm also working in other championships with our agency DPPI. So this is why I'm not covering the whole season every year.
So you're doing Formula One, you're doing WEC, and you're also doing the Dakar Paris Rally. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Correct? And sometimes some one-offs on some other racing series. It can be a bit anything, Formula E, local GT championship, some rallies, which is really rare for me. But yet, it's good. It's also changing environment sometimes, not to do 24 races in the same pit lane.
Yeah. So talking about specifically Formula One, you are now, besides being a photographer, you're also leading a team of photographers. Right? So what does that change or what does that add in terms of responsibilities for you during the race weekend?
Lately, we've been quite growing as an agency in Formula One. We were 2 photographers for a little while, and then 3 years ago, we were down to only 1 photographer on site. And suddenly we went up to 3 to 4 again, and sometimes these days, even 5 per races. So it's more responsibilities in terms of logistics first, because before arriving to a race, there is a whole bunch of preparations about travels and coordination, as you may know, especially booking hotels, which is a hard task in Formula One, especially. Um, and then I'm staff photographer of DPPI agency, and most of the photographers we are working with are freelance. So as I'm the only staff photographer, yeah, I'm the leading photographer in Formula One, um, and it's not like I'm considering myself as the boss here. You know, it's we are all sharing all the tasks. It's just sometimes there is a decision to make on what to do, where I can have a word about it. I would tell it, but honestly, we are all working at the same level within the team, and this is like we are not only co-workers, we are also friends usually. So that's really good to be part of a team that we are all on the same level, even though I have responsibility to take if we are doing a few mistakes sometimes with a client or something. But that's it. I'm the one who would for sure have some discussions with different clients because I'm the one on site representing the agency.
How how does that work in terms of in managing the assignments, for example? I know that different agencies work in different ways, but some people have to stay at certain corners. So, do you handle that responsibility in terms of telling who should be in which corner, who should be located where, and all that?
No, not at all. We are really deciding all together because for sure at every race there are some great spots to shoot at,
Yeah.
some less exciting jobs also to do over the weekend. It can be marketing, uh, another angle that is less exciting than another, shooting. More creative places, or for example, some sessions are better in terms of light to cover than others, you know, or over Grand Prix weekend. But we are really trying to please everyone in the team that same weekend, so that all of us are happy at the end of the weekend of what we could have been able to cover at each race. It's really important to keep that balance, you know. And so no, I'm really not deciding like you are going there, you are going there. We are usually like, hey, what do you want to do for the start? And we are like, oh, I don't really care. What do you want to do? And sometimes maybe it happens that I want to do this angle because it's been a long time, or if you don't mind, I would like to go there, something like this. But
Hmm.
we
That's
really try
great.
to share on the same level.
That's great. Great to know. So, you have different clients at every race. What is when you get together with your team? What is the criteria that you use for selecting photos? What makes a photo a good one versus the ones that you discard? And I assume there are different requirements from your clients. Some may like more of the journalistic photos, or they may like some more artistic photos. So, how does that selection process work with you and your team?
We consider that the job is done all over a weekend. So we would try to balance, as you say, artistic photos at some point. But unfortunately, it's not the priority these days. You really have to make before that some safe photos, let's say, where you see well the sponsor you're working for, or actually the different sponsors you could see on the car. So basically trying to get the car in every angle. And I'm trying to speak about this only about the car, because outside the sessions you also have to shoot quite a lot of things. It
Yeah.
can be other sessions of F2, F3, for example, or even F1 Academy, but also some marketing shootings in the paddock, press conferences, simply drivers or key people in the paddock. Sometimes even some pictures of stuff brought by a sponsor, for example, some shootings of products.
Hmm.
Um, we are quite fortunate actually that in our job we are not just shooting cars. We are shooting a lot of different things. So it's a whole package to try to shoot all over the weekend. And for sure, whenever we are somewhere around the track or in the pit lane, and we see it's a good moment to try something different and be artistic, like try some artistic stuff, we would go for it for sure. But I wish we would have more time for that for sure, because sessions in F1 are quite short, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So, on that sense, you mentioned in a previous interview what you're saying now about the editorial or the journalistic photos. Those are what pay the bills, right? So that those are what the clients are asking you. And then after you get those under your belt, that's when you have time to do some artistic. Has that changed in the last 5 years, 6 years that you've been working, or is that similar, like in all this time, similar amount of time that you spend doing editorial versus artistic?
Um, it's been different times, I would say, but it also depends on how many people you are on site working.
Yeah.
Now that we are more people, we can try also to do this more frequently. If someone has to take 15 minutes to do a very complicated shot trackside at some point during the weekend, we are able to make this happen. But I would say that in the past, when we were only one or two photographers at the races, we may have had, in general, less specific jobs, but we were less people to cover also more things in general. So I would say it just depends on the request of and the clients, and how much time you can dedicate around that. For sure, the special requests, have been growing lately. But if you are more people, you can try to make more around this.
And those special requests have been growing lately because of what, the growing number of sponsors, maybe?
Yes, I really think that because of the popularity of Formula One lately, there are more sponsors and more stuff about marketing and logos to shoot for sure.
And what other aspects has that impacted the work that you do? The growing number of sponsors, the growing popularity, having more people, more banners at the track. How does that affect the work that you're doing?
We are just making more pictures in terms of marketing than before. But I believe that on track, there are not many more banners, so I don't see any impact almost in terms of shooting cars, and there is always banners in the background to try to avoid. Maybe the main difference now is that with track circuits where there are some rails, guardrail, or the walls near the track, they now cover them with a kind of a big sticker full of
Mm,
adverts. This
yeah.
wouldn't really exist a few years ago, I would say. Maybe that's the main difference. But then outside the track sessions, I would say there are more guests to shoot,
Hmm.
mainly. That's the biggest job, and that has been adding on lately, I would say.
Yeah. So when you're looking at a photo, when you go back to the media center and start selecting your photos, and then suddenly you stop at one photo that you think it's a great photo? What is how do you differentiate between a good photo and a great photo? What makes a great photo for you?
The difference, honestly, it's quite hard to spot when you're on the computer straight away. I would say you come back in a media center in just your memory cards, and then you are just under thousands of pictures to edit fast.
Yeah.
Like you need to be so fast to select, edit, and then send to clients that basically you are selecting real fast and you don't really have time to realize, oh, this is a really good photo. Like
Hmm.
it really rarely happens, honestly. And it's only after a bit of time at the end of the day or over the
Yeah.
weekend, you're like, ah, yeah, when you look again at your
Yeah.
production and you're like, ah, okay, maybe this one is making a little difference. Or sometimes you know straight away when you find an angle, when you find something different and you manage to make the shot happen, uh, at that moment you already know you have kind of a good picture, even before starting the edit on computer.
Hmm.
But I would say that for most of the shots, I don't realize it straight away on the computer because you are under pressure of handling so many things to do, shoot and edit fast. That's it's sometimes only afterwards you're like, ah, yeah, in the end, this
Yeah.
shot is quite cool, you know?
Yeah. So your first priority when you come back to the media center is select the photos that you're gonna send to your client, right?
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. And you need to prioritize um, what you're gonna be sending. For example, you need sometimes to go back twice in your edits because there are some pictures that you're gonna need to select very fast to send as fast, and then only after that you can come back in the whole folder of pictures to select more that can wait a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in a broader scope of we're talking about great photos and all that, what do you think makes a difference between a good photographer and a great photographer?
Tough question. This is a tough question. I think a great photographer isn't just a good photographer in terms of taking good photos. It's also other assets to make decisions, um, because you are sometimes organizing in advance, but then you are improvising on
Yeah.
what's happening during a session, during a race. In the end, I was gonna go there, but it doesn't look good. I need to change spots last second and move to maybe far away around the track, or take decisions on what may happen in terms of racing incidents, potential overtake situations somewhere around the track. Or even a great photographer to me can be also someone who has other assets, like how to sell his stuff, to be nice with clients, and just also that has good team spirit. Because when you work within an agency with many photographers, for sure you need people that have very good team spirit. So sometimes maybe someone is not the greatest, but he's so good in so many, uh, as different good assets, like
Yeah.
not only being a good photographer. So for me, this is what's the difference between a good and a great photographer. It will
Mhm.
not be really like because the guy is only doing fantastic pictures. If
Yeah.
he's doing this, but he's not real good in human relationships, or that he's actually not improvising well and stuff like this, well, for me, he wouldn't be a great photographer, even if he's doing the best pictures.
Yeah. Similar question, but and what do you think it's needed in terms of having a long career? So you've been doing it since 2019. You said almost covering full seasons. And I've talked to people that has been in Formula One for 30 years, 35 years. What do you think is needed to make it for such a long time in Formula One?
I think you just need the passion, uh, either for photography, but for Formula One or motorsports. Um, that's the priority. I don't see how you could stay like decades covering Formula One without having the passion, honestly, because it's so physically demanding with all the travels, jet lags. It's a weird social life, you know, when you don't see your family and friends for half of the year, basically. Um, for me, what drives me is really the passion, for sure. That's what you need.
What are the downsides? Like you said, I mean, you're spending a lot of time away from home. So, what is the impact on your personal life?
Yeah, it's really to miss people, family, girlfriend, and friends, basically quite often, you know, especially when you are away for 3 weeks or even four sometimes. This can happen. To me, this is the biggest downside of the job for sure. Um, but at the same time, when I'm home for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks straight, which is really, really rare, I'm getting like bored, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to go again.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you keep your passion alive? I mean, what does ignite or reignite that passion after every weekend when you're doing it? What makes you happy during a weekend, a race weekend?
Yeah, it's a good question, actually. Just to see cars in action, uh, people, you know, seeing some people in there, and you realize how lucky you are, you know, to be able
Yeah.
to work in that industry,
Yeah.
because not many people do so. But I believe it's not impossible because
Mm.
we are all a good example of this. You can come from almost nowhere, and passion actually can drive you there, for sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
something magic. You realize it even more when it's like a crazy race happening, crazy stories, podiums that are really nice. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the last one in China was a really cool podium, and you
Mhm.
realize that's a cool thing to cover, you know. Or
Yeah.
when Ferrari wins in Monza, stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 Just what you said, I'm on realizing where you are. And that's something that I have done a few times where I just forget a little bit about taking photos just for a few moments and just enjoy. Just enjoy where you are in a corner, just the sounds, seeing the cars sometimes so close that are just like maybe less than a meter away from
Mm,
you, street tracks, especially, or at WEC sometimes as well in Circuit of the Americas where there's 6 hours and you have a little bit more sometimes time to spend, just enjoying a little bit
yeah,
the moment.
exactly. Some places
Yeah,
are really good to realize that also.
yeah, yeah. All right. So, in terms of motorsports photography, have you seen any change in how it is appreciated or non appreciated? Is it more appreciated now than it was in the last few years, or do you think is there a change on how that is being perceived or the importance of motorsports photography?
I can't really tell, honestly. I can't really tell. With social medias, for sure, there is more exposure easily. But since I've started my career back in 2012, it was already started. So I don't really see if if it has been better or gotten better lately.
Hmm.
What I still don't see are credits for the photographers by most of
Yeah.
um, by most of teams, drivers, or whoever. So honestly, there is still big changes to
Yeah,
happen
yeah,
for the
yeah.
better.
And I'll ask you also, with now that you mentioned social media, I see a trend towards having more content, sometimes disregarding a little bit of the quality of the photos and thinking more about issuing content quickly, right? Having more like videos and reels, sometimes having a little bit more importance than good photos. Do you see that as well or not?
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of reels without showing photos, but I think it's important also to have this kind of content today because I think that the popularity of drivers, for example, um, is really also made up by those reels and the kind of proximity that the fans could feel with the team or with drivers because of this kind of content. Um, so there might be a better balance to find maybe because yeah, Instagram in the beginning it was for pictures, really to show our work and was perfect for that. And now, yeah, there are not sometimes many images used by some clients or teams or drivers that are only photography. But that's not the main issue for me. The main issue would be that whenever there are some pictures used, some of the time you know that the person who can post can have better content, but doesn't post the best stuff. Um, Maybe that's more of an issue.
And that is exactly something that I've been mentioning in the past interviews, that with the objective, or because of having to post something very quickly, sometimes the people that are selecting those photos are not choosing the right ones or the best ones. Because I'm sure, I mean, you have your very strict criteria for selecting photos, specifically on their artistic photos, right? Those are the low shutter speeds. And actually, I want to ask you about that. So, what is your criteria when you're applying a very slow shutter speed, right? In terms of having something sharp in the photo. So, I know, I mean, I have my own criteria, I have other people, but I want to ask you, how do you select when you take a slow shutter speed, a very artistic photo? You have, I don't know, like 100 photos from a sequence, or 10, 15. How do you find the right one, the best one?
Mm, yeah, I would start to select the ones that I find sharp enough. Uh, Most likely in Formula One, you would look for the helmet to be sharp.
Hmm.
But if it's a wider shot, it would be pretty much the whole car if I'm shooting very, very, very slow shutter speed.
Yeah.
And then once I've selected a few images, because for sure when you shoot these kind of hard pictures to take, you have most of them that are going to the trash. Uh, but the few that have been selected, I would watch them over again, and then you would see the real difference straight away because it wouldn't be between 100, 200 pictures, but between 4, 5, 6 pictures. And then you narrow it down to what's really worth it.
Yeah. A side question that I just thought of: when you are selecting photos, when you're doing your selection, you pick the good ones. What do you do with the ones that are going to the trash? Do you delete them immediately, or do you keep them and delete them afterwards, after the weekend?
The ones that are good for the trash, clearly, I put them in the trash. But for example, if I'm at a corner and I'm shooting kind of more basic pictures and I have all cars, all 22 F1 cars at that corner, I will not take time to upload all 22 cars of every corner I'm covering. I would only
Yeah.
select a few cars at every place and make a general feeling of having covered everybody a few times, on different angles. So these pictures that have not been selected, I would keep them in case there is a request or if I have to go back into that folder later, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything that is clearly good to go to the trash, no hesitation.
Okay. Going back, just a quick question on social media. When you're shooting, do you have in the back of your mind ever what works for Instagram and what doesn't? Or does that not have any impact or effect in how you're shooting?
Yeah, nowadays it really has an impact. A few years ago, it was quite hard to think like, yeah, I have to leave space to make the Instagram format work. I mean by that, shooting horizontal and leaving enough space maybe for the community manager to crop for the Instagram format. But then with time, you simply adapt to that, and you are thinking about it, yeah, almost every time. Sometimes it doesn't work simply, but when it does, you know that you need to leave space for that, or to shoot directly vertical, which is
Hmm.
something honestly not really useful. I'm shooting mostly horizontally because I know that for social medias, if you need to crop in vertical only for Instagram or for social medias, the quality is gonna be enough. So you don't spend another lap shooting also vertical after having shot horizontally.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Uh, what about AI? Do you see any impact of AI right now in motorsports photography or in the workflow? Or do you see anything coming in the next few years that may impact motorsports photography?
Mm, I think the main thing is the job itself is not in danger. I think because you still need a proper human service. Because okay, maybe the trackside pictures in the future, never know. They could only use screenshots from TV cameras and stuff. But the whole coverage of a weekend, we still need someone to reply to the needs of a client because there are so many things to shoot and cover. Um, but then, in terms of AI, yeah, okay, we have some AI tools in Lightroom, for example. As a as a media agency of what we are uploading online for medias, it cannot be modified by AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's something that it's not possible to do. But if we are shooting a picture for a client, let's say a group picture with the whole team somewhere, and there is someone far in the background that is destroying the picture, or a toilet that can be trackside sometimes that you see, or whatever, then yeah, you use AI tools to get these things off your image. Um, what I would like to use in the future, maybe for pictures that are basic. And as I was saying, for example, 20 cars in basic pictures in a corner, just to have an AI tool that edit them straight away, like it knows my style of editing and would do that in one time. And I've seen some are working on also AI tools to caption pictures. I've been talking to a guy last week in Imola, another photographer, developing this tool. It seems quite fine to caption cars for now with the number of the cars or the shape. Uh, the problem can be for now still a bit the faces. And the thing with us covering so many different topics, not only cars, but also many many products or press conferences and stuff, we need a tool that is able to tag everything and to tag everything well. Because for me, it's nonsense to be using this for only half of the pictures, because you would still have to go on another software to still caption the other pictures, tag the other pictures. And often it's really important, I think, especially in Formula One. For example, when it's raining, you would put rain in the caption. Or if there is a marshal, you tag marshal. Or if there is the checkered flag visible on the picture, you would tag checkered flag. Or if it's the Pirelli, like a close up on a Pirelli tire, you would tag Pirelli tire.
Yeah.
And all these tools, they are not ready for that.
Hmm.
So for me, as long as I can't put all these images in the process, it's nonsense to use them.
Yeah. Yeah. I was asking you about AI because that's something that, like you said, I mean, there's some tools already in trying to identify the cars or trying to make the selection faster, trying to edit. But then I see sometimes teams like just the last couple of days, I saw Cadillac using AI for creating the merchandise for Miami in the
Okay.
t-shirts. So yeah, I saw a friend of mine just saying, "This is not good." And instead of using an artist, they're just using an AI generated image.
Yeah,
So
this is why I say we are kind of lucky. I think our job is quite safe compared to these guys, to designers, stuff like that,
yeah, yeah.
illustrators.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a broader question about the agency, DPPI, because I've seen different agencies produce, you know, different amounts of photos or the different types of styles. And what would you say is the differentiation of DPPI versus other agencies in terms of what makes a DPPI photo? How can you tell this is the work of DPPI?
Mm, well, we're working with some good photographers, and I think we are letting them create however they want. Um, and also, we edit almost all our images by ourselves. Maybe that's making a little difference sometimes compared to some big agencies that have one, two, sometimes more editors. They tend to send maybe more images that are getting put online and edited by these editors. So I would say that you might lose this little thing that you are
Personal
being,
feeling.
yeah, the personal
Pers-
feeling that you try to bring to the overall production, from taking the shot to the editing,
mhm.
basically. And I believe that making this happen, let the photographers work on their whole imagination and
Yeah,
workflow, is really important.
that's very interesting because last week when I was talking to Mario Renzi, he mentioned something that stuck in my mind is about the way he edits his photos. He does it all when he's, after the race or after the session, and it depends on how he's feeling. Just
Mm,
what you mentioned now, because it says I may edit a photo a few days later, but I may be feeling something different at that
mm.
time when I'm
Yeah,
editing the photo.
yeah,
So
this is true. Yeah,
yeah,
it would
that is,
depend on your mood also. I'm
yeah.
not saying also by that other photographers of other agency are not good. It's the
No,
opposite.
no, just
But I
different. Yeah,
think
just different.
they are editing their own photos too, but not all the production. And I don't know what's their exact workflow anyway.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you
Okay.
never see all what is going online by a
Yeah.
photographer. Also,
Yeah.
I believe. So you only see a little bit by what everyone is posting on Instagram, which is good, and also the overall level anyway of the
Yeah.
photographers in Formula One is really high and is really getting higher these days, honestly.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thanks to, well, experience newcomers also in F1 and the possibility that are being brought by the new type of cameras and the files that you can handle better also in Lightroom or Photoshop. So yeah, I'm happy with the direction actually
So
F1
you
is getting in
actually,
terms of photo.
so you actually see a difference recently in terms of,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. Since a few years, honestly, I believe that the overall level of photography in Formula One has gotten better
Hmm.
compared to when I started the first years.
Okay. More competitive environment. Yeah.
Mm.
So, Florent, I asked you to send me some of your most memorable or significant photos in your career. So, I want you to walk me through those photos and why they are important for you. What did they mean? What do they mean now? Did
Uh-huh.
they mean when you took them, or what do they mean now? This one that I'm showing, man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, this was great. It's Macau. But first, yeah, I want
Yeah.
to come back about that mood feeling. You know, I was making that selection, but maybe if I was doing that selection another day, half
Uh-huh.
of the pictures would be different, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really difficult to
Yes.
narrow down a selection of pictures.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this shot, well, it's Macau, street track, a
How
great
long ago
track.
was this one?
Beautiful track. I think this shot was about 2018 or 19, something like this.
Okay.
We were covering WTCR for
Mm,
Eurosport,
yeah.
and yeah, the picture opportunities around Macau are great. And the good thing with this championship is these guys they really are not scared to go so close to the walls,
Mhm.
and this was before a corner, so actually they were trying to get the most like space for the apex
Mm,
as they could, but this one was unbelievably close, like with the mirror basically going inside the guardrail. It's
yeah.
just amazing.
What lens did you use? How far were you? Were you shooting a long lens there? 400,
Yeah,
500?
yeah, it was 500
Yeah.
millimeter. I
Okay.
don't know if there was the converter or not. It might be possible actually.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful photo.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Talk to me about this one.
So, well, that's not a hard photo to take,
Yeah.
but it's quite iconic, honestly. That
Yeah.
was shocking moment in my career, one of the most intense, honestly. Um,
Where
yeah,
were
I,
you at that when the accident happened?
I was in corner one
Okay.
outside.
Yeah.
It was COVID year. So basically there were no fans, which means there were no screens out on track.
Mm,
I couldn't see what happened because I was in turn one. This happened after turn three in
yeah.
the straight, and from corner one outside, basically there is that empty grandstand blocking the view. So we
Yeah.
basically saw nothing about it. It's just at some point I looked up and there was a massive column of smoke. So I straight away understood there was a fire, and I simply ran as fast as I could. But from corner one outside, it's really far actually
Yeah, it is far. Yeah.
the point of the crash. So when walking, running, I saw that basically there was still something in fire, and getting closer, I realized that it was the cockpit. But in the meantime, Grosjean already went out of the car to get evacuated in the medical car. But this happened when I was running. So when I got close and realized it was a cockpit, I thought, like, I was like, okay, so there is a F1 burning in there. The driver is probably inside still, you know? So when I realized that, I stopped shooting, you know? I was like, okay, there is a man dying here, you know? I was
Hmm.
like so
Hmm.
shocked. And it's only like, I don't know, moments later that I saw that Grosjean was inside the medical car actually. So I was pretty relieved at that moment because we
Yeah.
had no news. Like basically, we were the ones to have the first news when we saw that he was coming out alive.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question here because it brings an interesting topic about where, how do you realize when to stop shooting? Because I was talking about this with Gregoire Trochet the other day about, we are there to document what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? But also Mario was mentioning about the accident of Wanju in, I think it was
Yankee,
China.
Yankee in Japan, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And, when you see that there is a situation of danger, the driver may be there, you stop shooting, right? Because of ethics. But how do you define, how do you apply that in your mind of, oh, this is not good and I need to stop, or you need to document the moment?
Um, it would depend on how it happens on site. I think, for example, for me on that case, I was running, I see fire, so I shoot from far away because that's the first reflex, oh,
Yeah.
okay, there is something happening, I shoot it. But I got closer, and then when I realized there is maybe the driver inside there burning, I basically stopped. So it was kind of an
An
easy
instinct.
decision kind of easy decision to make. But if a crash happens in front of you and you are shooting it because you don't even know what the outcome would be anyway.
Hmm. Hmm.
But for sure, if I have a sequence of a fatal crash and that I know afterwards that the driver has died, I will not publish the pictures.
Yeah.
For me, that's the that's the limit. If the guy is injured or whatever, uh, it's not an issue because yes,
Yeah.
we are here to document it. And for example, and in the case of that crash, people were saying, the guy was injured. People should not post content and stuff. But when you see that even the driver sometimes is actually using this, and basically
Yeah.
that's what Romain did.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Again, Macau, flying cars.
No, actually, it's Pau
No?
in south of France. Grand Prix de
Oh,
Pau. Yeah, it's quite a
oh,
mythical,
yeah, I see the sign in the back.
mythical race in Formula 3 for years. It has ended now, unfortunately. Basically, that was 2014. It was my first picture of a big crash in motorsport. So that's why that picture was kind of impressive and important to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And,
Basically, what's the funny story around that is that I went up to that corner for the start of the race because in the past, a lot of crashes have happened there.
mhm,
But as many crashes happened in the past there, they decided to double yellow uh, the first lap. So when I got there and
mm.
the marshals told me that it would be double yellow, I was like, oh, I came all the way here to be a corner being double yellow, and I don't have time to move anywhere else, for the
Mhm.
start. So I was kind of disappointed. And then still under double yellow, this happened, really at low speed.
Yeah,
The car basically didn't touch the fence. Right after that picture, I I got on the
wow,
ground, like I
yeah,
jumped on the ground, and the car didn't hit the fence. It rolled on the track and ended up just slowly on the tire barrier. And nothing bad happened there.
that's an amazing photo. So that was 2014.
Yes,
You were shooting already for the agency, or were you still a freelancer at that time?
I was freelancer, but I already started to work for DPPI since 2012.
Right, yeah. Tell me about this one,
So this
Carlitos.
one, yeah, I've selected it because that was the first Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia, I think 2021. Basically, we never have F1. We have F1 sessions at sunset, but
Yeah.
we've never had a spot on a track with the car going straight to you with
Hmm.
the
The
like
sun in
the
the
last
back.
seconds of sun in the background.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was quite happy to find this spot at the time.
What part of Jeddah? Could you?
It doesn't happen anymore because of the
Oh,
timing of the that has changed 1 year later or something like this. Yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah.
think it was
Okay.
the only opportunity possible that year
Yeah.
to go there.
What's the best race for taking photos at sunset? Is that in Abu Dhabi?
Mm, not anymore.
No?
Yeah,
Or
I
maybe
believe
during
Abu
the.
Dhabi, yeah, has been kind of destroyed for us.
Oh, yeah. But what about the preseason testing in Bahrain? Right there, I think.
Yeah, it's decent. Decent place for sunsets in Bahrain. A lot of
Yeah.
opportunities there.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best is just now we are going there so often that it's hard to find new stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Bahrain is one of the best for sunset sessions.
Okay. Right. This is
Yeah,
one of those clashes
yeah,
in
exactly.
2021, right?
So not the best photo in terms of artistic
No, but I mean, one of
way,
those, I meant one of
but
those in that
intense.
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
had many
Yeah,
coming together.
one of the intense
This is in
moments of the
Monza, right?
2021 season, Monza. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was such a moment. Yeah, sums up quite well the season between these two. Huh? Was iconic season. Honestly, you could properly feel the intensity
Yeah.
building up all the season until the last Grand Prix. It was insane and crazy to cover that year. Honestly,
Do you think that has been the best Formula One season that you've seen working as a photographer?
yeah, for sure. Of my short career, this was the most intense one for
Yeah.
sure. They were only two drivers to fight for it, but it's the way it was on the intensity because there were some championships where more drivers fought for it, like last year, but it was
Hmm.
really not the same feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, I thought when this happened, it was Formula One. I thought it was at a peak in terms of popularity. And I thought it was kind of a bubble that I was going to, I
Mm.
think 2022 is going to go back to the normal levels. But since then, has been just growing and growing
Yeah.
and growing. This year, I've seen a lot of people complaining, because of the regulations and say F1
Mm.
is dead. My position is never dead. They're going to recover. They're going to make the changes. What is your view on this? And it doesn't have anything to do with the photos, but
Yeah, same. I think F1 is not dead, but some decisions have to be made, I think, because you need to keep the fans happy. For sure,
yeah.
now, as you say, it might be a bubble, but even if we have less fans from a day to another, we will still have way more fans than pre-Netflix era, in my opinion. Uh, it has reached levels that have never been seen before in
Hmm.
terms of popularity. So yeah, F1 is not dead at all, but for sure, some decisions have to be made and changes done as soon as possible. They can only limit the issues for this year. Let's see what they can do in the future.
Yeah. Do you see Formula One as the pinnacle of motorsports?
I still do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's really frustrating though this year for me, more than the races themselves, is for qualifying.
Qualifying. Yeah.
They are supposed to go so fast, uh, as
At the
fast as
limit.
ever, but
Yeah.
they can't.
Yeah. Let's hope for Miami that they should make some changes and they should make the FP1,
They,
they should make it 90 minutes.
maybe, yeah, back to 90 minutes for us because we lost a lot of time shooting with the
Yeah.
sessions
With the
being brought
sprints.
from 90 to 60. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. All right. So tell me about this one. This is
So
where?
that's the Dakar Rally. in Saudi Arabia. I'm really fortunate to be able to shoot from the helicopter now at the Dakar Rally, and yeah, as you can see, the landscapes there,
How
it's
difficult is
incredible.
it to shoot from the helicopter? Because I shot once and with the wind and all that. Are you shooting from inside the glass or are you picking out from the
No,
window or
the door is open, so we
it's
have the
open? Yeah.
legs on the outside, and we shoot.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, for me, taking the picture is the easy part in the helicopter. Once you've done
Uh,
it, that's the easy part, because all you don't know and can't see is all the preparation. Because I'm with my colleague leading the helicopter that is dedicated to photo agencies. So basically, I have to prepare the flight plans alongside the schedule of the bikes, the cars, the trucks, the main competitors with a limited flight time,
mhm.
having to also refuel on the way. So it's a
Yeah.
lot of things to handle before even try to find the best potential spot that you
Yeah.
don't even know, basically. And you can't fly over the whole race. Basically, you have to choose some zones and shoot there, and like be lucky enough for it to be maybe the best or not place to shoot. So yeah, basically, when you make the picture, it's the easiest part. Even though it's moving, you still have to tell the pilot how to position the helicopter. It's a real team job between the pilot and me, because it takes a bit of time to adapt to each other,
Yeah.
how to speak together. Then he knows what I would need after a few days, how to automatically position the helicopter. Um, when the guy understands a bit the vision you have, then it's making it more easy. And this was actually at the end of the rally, so we were really comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, the pilot is half of the job of the
Mhm.
pictures you see.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Spa.
Spa, of
Magical
course.
spa.
Yeah, start of a race, of the sprint race, actually. Well,
Is this
I
from
just,
last year?
yeah, last year sprint.
Yeah.
Basically, I just wanted to do one of the two starts there, to have as many cars as possible going through the Radion.
Mhm.
But yeah, what made it quite cool is the light, because it was fully backlit, and then there was a cloud showing up, and the contrast that it brought to the picture. I underexposed the pictures on purpose to really have this dark mood
Yeah.
and that high contrast. Yeah, was a
This
lucky
is
cool
this
shot.
is this is an amazing photo and it shows the experience of being at a track and knowing where to be. Last year for me was the first time that I went to Spa.
Hmm.
And knowing where to be for the start was a little bit difficult for me.
Mm.
And I was on the straight after this, just before what is it, Le Comte.
Yeah, which is a great corner for a start, also, actually.
Yeah, yeah. But then I changed position last minute. I felt uncomfortable where I was, and then the last few seconds, I was like, "Oh, I made a mistake." Okay, so
Can happen.
fix it. Yeah, fix it for the next one. But
Yeah.
here, this photo, what makes it also very unique is that yes, they are all different cars, but it looks as if one of those photos where you
Yes,
just take,
duplicate.
yeah, duplicate like the whole
Yeah,
sequence of one car.
yeah, exactly. But it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, it's, and I thought also that you had darkened like in the editing that top part of the photo, but like you said, it's just because of you underexposing the photo, and there were some clouds that just made it more
Yeah,
dramatic.
full backlit, because at that time of the day, the sun is really like right in front of my lens. So yeah,
Yeah.
just have to underexpose, and you know that it's gonna be shining on the cars and the track. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh man, I remember this one because this is probably when I put a comment on your photo. I think that comment has got more likes than any of my photos that I posted on
really.
Instagram. Yeah, because I posted a comment saying like the lady was saying, "Is that the guy that?" Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
what it was, but it was
remember.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, once again, it's not a beautiful artistic photo, but it's one of these editorial pictures that are strong, because this might be a turning point of the season of last year, where maybe Piastri just sunk and he might have lost the championship here by crashing again and just walking back to the paddock in the streets of Baku was pretty cool. So I was following him. I decided to give up my position at turn two, and I stopped shooting the race basically to go all the way by foot where he was uh, crashing. And then I was lucky to arrive right when he was leaving the track, actually, to walk back to the paddock. So yeah, kind of a cool story. And I was alone also. So
Hmm.
that's why I've decided to just exit
But
the track and follow him to the paddock.
that is one of the situations where, as you were saying before, where you have to make a decision,
Exactly.
and you
Yeah.
took a risk because
Yeah.
you maybe didn't find them and you wasted your time, right?
Yeah.
But you found them and you took the photo of the weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sparks.
Yeah. Big Sparks. We are lucky, huh? That they
Hmm.
are since years now brought the stuff under the floors to make Sparks again in F1. This is in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Uh, it's amazing. Slow shutter speeds and Sparks is just the best combo.
How slow did you have to go on this one?
This was probably 1/10 or 1/13.
Hmm. That's enough. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
The tricky thing here is that the car is turning. It's basically in a corner, like, so it's hard to get the car sharp
Sharp.
for this
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a McLaren Art. Well, it says in the back McLaren
Yeah.
Artura.
And what I what I liked is basically also that you have almost no sponsor. Like, you can basically almost only read McLaren, which is cool,
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
a bloody sponsor in the rear wing.
Well, but you can see here art.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let's go into what I call the sprint race questions. Okay, so just quick questions, quick answers. Do
Okay.
you shoot JPEG or RAW or both?
I shoot both, and I edit almost only JPEGs.
What do you do with the RAWs?
I need the rows for the clients of the pictures that have been selected but not edited. And I have the rows there in case I need for the pictures also that have been edited without it. And all the rows that are non-selected, I just put it in the trash.
Okay, so you send to your client the edited JPEG and also the RAW file.
It depends on the client, but yes, some
Okay,
are asking for the raw file.
okay,
It can be beforehand, straight away, or sometimes they are asking for it later.
okay. So if you had to pick one lens to shoot for the whole weekend, you have no choice, just one. What lens would that be?
135 millimeter 1.8.
Yeah, nice. What's the best media center of all the calendar to work at?
Ooh, maybe Austria. The view is
Austria.
amazing. Have you been
Yeah.
in Austria?
No, not yet.
No? The
Uh-huh.
media center is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
This one and maybe China because of the view, but there is kind of a film, an advert on the
Uh-huh.
windows, so you can't really see as good as as in Austria.
Okay, I have to go there.
Yeah.
What's the track where you walk more kilometers during a race weekend?
Hmm. Maybe Singapore.
Hmm.
Maybe Singapore or Jeddah, I would say.
Okay. And what is the most challenging track to photograph?
Maybe
What?
again Singapore. Uh,
Why?
because it's really hot, even though it's
Hmm.
nighttime.
Yeah.
So physically, it's a real demanding one, working at night until really, really late at night. The heat and the walk, and also it's for me, it's
Humidity.
the best. It's the best race to work at in terms of photography. Is my favorite, but it's a real challenging one also in terms of photography. So, yeah,
Singapore,
that's
how do you get access to the top shots like from above? Is that like in Jeddah where you have access to certain hotels, or is that something that
no.
everyone has to look for themselves to find a spot?
Yeah, now it's by yourself. It used to be a room dedicated to photographers of the Grand Prix, but since COVID, we don't have access anymore to that balcony, to
Mm,
that room. So yeah, you have to find it by yourself. And try to know people. Sometimes there are like some team mechanics or other team members staying in that hotel.
hmm.
You just have to speak with some people in the paddock and be lucky that someone has a room or knows someone or something like this that can
Yeah,
give you access.
yeah. Your favorite corner to photograph or favorite spot?
Whew. For pictures or for
For,
sensations?
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me both.
Let me think. That is not easy. In terms of sensations, it used to be Eau Rouge until they put the wall more backwards
Oh yeah.
to the left.
Hmm.
For pictures, I can't really tell for pictures, honestly. That's a tricky question. There are so many shots all year.
What
I
about
can't say. Huh?
Monaco? Do you
Monaco?
think in any? Because I've heard Monaco several times. Some corners there specifically. I don't
For
want to tell you.
sensations. Yeah, for sensations, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's one of the best. For me, there are two corners there. Swimming pool.
Hmm.
Also to shoot is nice when they put the tire touching the
The
barrier.
guardrail. Yeah.
But the previous swimming pool chicane, the speed of it when you are next to the cameraman and the car comes close to you, like face to face with the car that is
Mhm.
going probably like 250 or something.
Yeah.
It's really crazy, a crazy one for, yeah,
I'm
for
going there for the first
sensations.
time this year. I've
Oh,
been trying
yeah,
to go for the last 6 years, and finally
nice.
I'll make it. Looking
Yeah,
forward.
I will help you on the access if you need.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a tricky one sometimes.
Yes. Your favorite car livery of all time?
Of all time,
Yes.
maybe it was a testing livery from Red Bull, uh, the black and white with a, how to say, um, incognito. How do you call that? Do you
Oh,
see which one?
yeah, I know what you mean. But
Like
why that?
it looked cool.
Yeah.
It was
But
a,
that
yeah,
they use that when they don't want pictures to be taken, no? Or is not what I'm thinking, what you're saying. Like when they put like this pattern of black and white
yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
cars. Yeah?
Yeah, they did. It was in Barcelona testing someday, like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
For me,
Well,
that was a really cool.
yeah, I see those when there are oh, I used to see them in the past, not anymore. Yeah, when they were coming with some new changes, they didn't want to see like in the photos the proper
Yeah,
shapes. Yeah.
shapes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were using this for that actually also. Yeah.
Mm, interesting. Okay. Um, do you remember any weekend, any race weekend where things went going really bad for you or your team? Like something happened and like, oh, this is so frustrating. And did you have to overcome that situation?
I think I would need to go deep into my memory because I tend to forget
The bad moments?
the bad moments or where it was, honestly.
Don't worry. All right. Let me ask you then the last sprint question. What would you prefer for breakfast? French croissant or real Mexican breakfast tacos?
Ooh, tacos for breakfast? Usually it's more chilaquiles, no?
No, there are some real Mexican
Yeah.
breakfast tacos, not the ones that we get here in the US, but when you go there, especially in the north where I'm from in Monterrey,
Okay.
yeah, we have tacos at morning, we have tacos for
Okay.
lunch, tacos for dinner, but there are some that are really good for breakfast.
This for sure, not
Yeah.
croissant or yeah, yeah. I'm more of a salty person for breakfast,
Okay.
so for sure I would go for that.
All right. All right. Let's close now. This is just a couple of final questions because, yeah, we've been going for more than an hour and I appreciate your time so much.
Not
So,
bad.
what have you learned from shooting WIC and Dakar that you have applied into Formula One or vice versa?
It probably had me on improvising, I would say, overall. Uh, because at Dakar Rally, you often have to improvise.
Yeah.
And then I would say that maybe it has brought me that idea of improvise more also during F1 weekends where you have shortened sessions
Sessions. Yeah.
or stuff like that. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. All right. And I would like to close by asking you, this is a question that we get very often about how to get started in motorsports or how to access to Formula One as a photographer. Usually we give the same answer about starting in the lower categories. Do you still think that way? Do you still see that as the best pattern to get into Formula One? Or do you see any change in the last few years?
I think you don't have to start from the lowest, but you have to dream big for sure. Um, but you need to be shooting other stuff because nowadays to shoot Formula One, even as a fan, can get hard. Um, Sometimes some tracks they apparently don't let you go in with a big lens,
Brilliant.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's kind of hard. So you have to shoot other motorsports to practice. We tend to hire people that we see. I mean, DPPI agency that we see often at racetracks in smaller categories or smaller uh, motorsport
Serious.
series like ELMS or really smaller stuff. We will never hire someone by just having a Instagram message, like, because these days with social medias, you have tons of them. So you try to reply what they should do and stuff, but it's not easy. And yeah, you need to have like vision of how the guy is working. You see the person coming back to races, um, trying to show his work, everything. So yeah, for sure, you need to start in lower categories as a fan, and sometimes trying to get in contact, in touch with some team members. That can be PR teams or some people in the media center. If you don't have access to the media center, try to bump into them in the paddock, or even shout at the guy trackside. That's what I've done also to try to speak in the past to some F1 photographers just passing by in front of me trackside when being there as a fan, give them your details, and then yeah, the guy will eventually see you work more and more, and one day you would maybe need someone.
I just remembered now that you're talking as a fan, I remember seeing you in an interview talking about the tricks that you did
Yeah,
when you were
yeah.
a fan, just to get
That
access to the paddock.
that's why
Yeah,
I say passion will drive you
yeah,
there.
yeah,
If you are meant to do this, honestly, if you have the passion, the commitment, and you have some different good assets and just not taking good pictures, there are not
yeah.
many people that do this job. There are not
Mm,
many places there, but also there is a bit of turnover, and it's not impossible at all.
mhm. Yeah,
There is not just one way
yeah,
to be
exactly.
able to be there.
Yeah,
That's also why it's tricky to reply to
yeah,
that question. There is not just one way. So yeah, just
yeah.
work hard. It's a lot
Hmm.
of time and also some money before you will
Yeah,
get that return on investment for sure.
yeah, definitely. One final question. Do you think a great photographer, is born or can be made? Like, can someone learn how to become a great photographer or just a good photographer? Because I have my thoughts on this, but I want to hear yours.
Mm, I think like probably everywhere you can start. Someone could have the vision and be good quite straight away, but then might get limited on the technical point of view. You can still work on that later, but some maybe don't. And I believe some are not that good in the beginning, and then they are working hard and trying new techniques and doing a lot of stuff and can also become good. So honestly, I think you still need to have the eye, otherwise you will never be a good
Right.
photographer.
Yeah. I mean, you can
Uh,
become good, but to become great,
yeah, exactly. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think there are multiple ways of being great photographer. But
Yeah.
for sure, some people will never know how to take proper good pictures.
Yeah.
So this can happen. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things I can't do in my life. So
Yeah. All right. Florent, thank you so much for your time, man. It's been,
thanks to you. It's been a pleasure.
yeah. I was
It was
planning for
nice.
45 minutes. We've been going for almost an hour and a half.
No problem.
Yeah.
With pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Where are you going to Montreal?
Yes. Will you be
Yeah.
there?
Okay. Yeah. I'll be there this year going
Cool.
back. Okay. I'll see you
Perfect.
there.
I'll see you
Okay.
there.
All
Enjoy.
right. Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao.